Wow. Look at that. Can you believe it? It just went from undimmed to dimmed, or the other way around, I think. Reflecting on January 2025 content and looking forward to February 2025. Wow! What an exciting concept. Anyway, we're here with a PowerPoint again. This is a very similar thing to what we did for the year end sort of reflecting thing that I did. And my idea now is to do it month to month, just to check in on things. Because, we set some lofty goals at that year-end thing, and we want to check in on them. We want to see how everything's going. I think it is a good specific moment for reflection, more so the making of the PowerPoint than the narrating of it that you're listening right now. It can help get me back on track a little bit, and it can keep the audience informed. So can you believe? So many positives, zero negatives, of course. Why is the F, look at this, look at the L and then the F, and it's overlapping there. I also changed up the aesthetic of the PowerPoint a little bit, even if it has the same structure. But anyway, we'll go through scripted videos, unscripted videos, streams, media consumption, video essays, or maybe not, we'll have to see, and goals and all that stuff. This is only for the most hardcorest of hardcorest shitty fans out there, so we'll see. In the month of January 2025, there was one scripted video that came out. It was called Ben Hunt Redemption and the Brisbane Broncos, and it was a footy ENT video. It was 12 minutes of scripted and edited footage. It somehow has remained up and not got me copyright fucked yet, though I am anticipating it might in the future. It was a not good but not... this isn't the video specifically, but this is overall the output was not good but not terrible. We did get one video out, and it was an okay length of 12 minutes. I did want it to be shorter. Have you ever heard me say that before? I would have liked to have gotten the Pokemon Battles video, which is the main channel video I've been working on the most, out. But things have sort of gotten in the way. I do have a lessened, though it is technically a more harder work schedule now with my real job. In terms of hours, but in terms of days, I do have more days off, and I'm hoping, and I only started this halfway through January, and I'm hoping that'll lead to more time to work on videos, because I think days are better than sort of just hours at the end of the day. The only problem is, again, I was working 5 days the first 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure, and then the first week where I had, because what I do is I work 5 days one week and then 3 days the next week. My first, 3-day week, I went to Canberra, doxing him again, to record all the stuff with the lead RE that we'll be talking about shortly. So I haven't really gotten to take advantage of that yet, though. This very week, I've already done my 2 of 3 shifts this week, and it's only Tuesday. Can you believe it? So we're hoping that this will lead to more scripted videos, and that should help the output a little bit. And eventually, if something gets wildly successful, then I can spend 14 days a fortnight doing videos or something. Though, remember when I didn't have a job for 3 years and my output still wasn't the best. One of those years it was pretty good in 2020, but towards the end. But I was very depressed towards the end, The video itself is generally fine. I once again didn't go back and re-record lines that could have used it. I talked about doing this in which video? I can't even remember. I know I didn't do it for the Madoka video. Hold on, I'm on my phone now. Let me look at the Kyle ENT channel. What other videos did I even make? I don't remember my own goddamn videos. Oh, the Last of Us Part 2 one, but that was kind of because the mic kept fucking up. So yeah, it would have been that one. And I thought that was a more polished video, that Last of Us one. I think that, what a great video, nobody watched it, but that's okay. More people have watched this footy ENT video than that Last of Us video, so that's pretty funny. But we'll talk about how I did views-wise in a second. I do have a general, just get it out there, it doesn't matter too much mindset with footy ENT. Though, again, that Madoka video wasn't as polished as it could have been either. I also considered trying more edits in the video of quotes and commentary lines to make things more dramatic, but got lazy and just wanted the video out. True. Because this video came out the 20th or something, I want to say, but it was pretty late in the month, and I was like, man, this video was supposed to come out in the first week or something. Let me just get it out. And I think it was sitting with all the audio edited, but I was procrastinating on the footage for 4 or 5 days, and it's oh my god. Literally 3 hours of work and this thing would be out, but And then I finally got to a point where it was basically finished, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just export it and put it up, god damn it. But I did want to... The video is kind of supposed to be dramatic and stuff. It's supposed to retell a story, basically, and the moment of climax or elation could have been more dramatic in the way I handled it. I think I did it okay because I basically played the moment, which gets the point across probably better than any narration could. But there were particular lines on like commentary and rewatching it. This is why I really need to act on impulse more. I need to stop saying like, oh, I'll just do it later or I'll rewatch it. Because I rewatched the full games for both of the games that are sort of talked about in this video. I know a lot of people watching this probably don't care about footy NT, so I won't go into too much detail. But I remember in watching the games, I'm like, oh, this is like a great piece of like commentary here. I'll remember to come back when I rewatch this, because I'm going to rewatch it again, even though I wasn't. And I probably knew in my heart of hearts I wasn't then. And then I'll come back and select that audio and put it in later. I need to just collect the audio in the moment when I have the idea, and then I need to put it in like Premiere, or I need to at least write it down somewhere with a timestamp so I can easily come back to it. But yes, it could have been much more dramatic, and there could have been cooler edits and stuff. And I can probably figure out how to do like cut in dramatic audio edits with flair and stuff. I think I'm capable of doing that in edits. So those were all things I was looking to do until I was just like, fuck it, put the video out. There's like a balance of telling the whole story and telling the interesting part and telling the part that the focus. Hold on. This is a like critique of, this is something I am going through a lot in making videos. There's like a balance of telling the whole story and telling the interesting part and telling the part that is the focus of the video that I ran into a lot in this video a lot. Well, there you go. I didn't proofread this. I just typed out a stream of consciousness like I was saying I should. So you can't blame me. So this video is supposed to be about Ben Hunt, and he had a big fuck up, and they had a big success. And then now he is staring down the barrel of potentially even more bigger success if he can pull this off with returning to his old club, etc., etc. To do this, I had to tell the story of the game where he had the big fuck up. And he is a part of that story, but he isn't really the focus of that story. He is kind of the biggest moment of that story, but like the Jonathan Thurston story in there is the much bigger story. Even with the Ben Hunt fuck up, that game is more remembered as the Cowboys' biggest moment, not the Broncos or Ben Hunt's darkest moment. Obviously, in Ben Hunt's story, it is the darkest moment, and that's what the video is about. So there's like a part where I came into conflict of like, how dramatic do I make this Jonathan Thurston thing? Or do I just kind of breeze over it quickly to maintain the topic of the video? And also, which part is more interesting? And it's like, oh. And I kind of just quickly went into the Jonathan Thurston stuff. There's also a balance of like, most people watching this will already know this story, so do I re-go over it? Or do I try to get people that don't know the story to watch the video, which I have very clearly in my mind because Bacon is going to watch these videos, and I'm assuming he doesn't know a lot of this. Writing just for Bacon is cute. It's probably not the best strategy, but it's also probably the best catharsis I'll get out of it because Bacon will actually talk to me about the video, other than like not commenting or just leaving a brief comment, etc., etc. And the people that are likely to comment are probably like the people that would already know the story. But this also comes into just like tangents as a concept in videos and whether or not and how directly you want to stay on point and how concise you want to be versus how all-encompassing versus if you don't tell that part of the story wholly just because you're focusing on this part of the story wholly, is this like a moral discretion? Not discretion. Ingression? No. What word? Aggression? A moral indiscretion? There's a word there that means a bad moral thing to like, are you lying? Like, what's going on here? Not telling the whole story. Is this something I would criticize like a Super Eye Patch Wolf video for doing, etc., etc.? It's an ongoing sort of struggle, but you get through it, you'll figure it out. Alright, I don't really have an answer, so we're going to move on. I think while working on this and working recently on the next Kyle Entertainment video, the Pokemon Battles one, I've generally been dissatisfied with the writing, particularly the organizing of the videos and how to structure information/points. I also don't think in the end... Oh, okay, that's a different point. We'll stop on this one. This is a big thing. Trying to figure out how to lay out your points. Like I like when I get stuck, I like to do like the mind map thing where I like make bubbles and it'll be like this is this point and this is this point and this is this point. And they all fall under the umbrella of the video. But in what order do you explore the points? Because this is pretty important. And like if you give context for this point, is that context going to help if you bring up the other point second? Or should you bring up the second point first because it gives context for the first point? Or do you split them up, but then you have to re-explain the context a few times? It's all very difficult. Like, and also how dramatic you want to be. Like, there are different dramatic devices, obviously, right? You could, like, do a hint at, like, ominous, like, oh, he's gonna fuck up here, then go back, then tell the story, then get to the point where he fucks up. Or you could tell the story like he's gonna succeed and then he fucks up, and that's dramatic. In the Ben Hunt video, I did like do a lot of repeat lines for different to like parallel the two different games, which they did kind of sort of end up paralleling. Where in the Ben Hunt game where he fucks up, he kind of has a minor fuck up right before, and in the Ben Hunt game where he wins, he has a minor like victory before he has the big victory where he kicks the 40-20, which was complete luck. And it was cute when I was rewatching the games and realized I could do that. The Pokemon Battles video is also... There's also a part where you, like... Should I just, like, make this its own video? But then I'm going to use that video as context for this video, and then it sort of necessitates the watching of the first video into the second video. But then, what if the second video does better and then they don't watch the first video? Do I even care at that point? Is the success enough to, like, waylay the... like... the writing or the quality or the understandability. A bunch of interesting things. I'm running into this with the Pokemon video a lot, where there's like a part where I just talk about like the first shot of the show, and then I had the idea of like a good clickbait video would probably be like Pokemon's iconic first shot or something like, can you believe this was the first shot of the Pokemon anime? And I'm like, oh, that could probably do really well. But then it's like it kind of works in the context of this video. But then a lot of the times when you make longer videos, like good points you think are good points kind of get lost in the shuffle of other good points. And you'll kind of forget you made them and then have the idea later to make that video. And then you'll go back and you'll watch a video and be like, oh, I already said this. And nobody's fucking changed their mind and discourse hasn't changed because of it. I'm pissed off. Like, I feel like the very long Attack on Titan videos I would like go back and be like, I already made this point in a video. This is fucking genius. But then you have the realization that you still see like the talking point it's supposed to counter all the time. And it's like frustrating. This Pokemon Battles one is doing my fucking head in, but we're going to figure it out over the next few days, hopefully. But yes, there's been a dissatisfaction with the writing on like two fronts, because there's that front, but there's also just the relaying ideas poorly that because I have a bit of the Pokemon video already recorded. But I had the thought the other day to just scrap it because I was annoyed. It's like you're not being concise here. It's pissing me off. Like, you said this whole thing, and then, like, the way you... And it can even be in a paragraph where the sentence structure is all fucked up, and you're like, no, this should have come first, and why do you have this as sort of an after-fact, hey, also this thing, when that should have been ingrained in sort of the first description of a thing. It's very difficult. It's probably the biggest thing standing in my way at the moment, so I've got to work through this task, I think. To the next point, I also don't think in the end the video in the end hit as emotionally and as dramatically as it could have. I've kind of already talked about that. I do like the tie-in to the season I do like the tie-in to the season to come at the end, and think I'll make a habit of that in the rest of the preseason content. Better go fast. True, there's like a bunch of... I sort of tie this video into being like a season 2025 preview for the NRL season, where it's like, well, Ben Hunt does have this opportunity for redemption with the Brisbane Broncos. Can't wait to see how it goes. It also hypes the audience up for this season, which can only be good because if more eyes are on that, then more eyes could be on my content I could make about it. It's like a self-fulfilling prophet. Well, not really. It cycles to and from. Plus, I don't know, a lot of these videos can count as like preview videos because the other few video ideas, there's like 3 main ones that I would want to do before the season starts, which it starts at the beginning of next month, so I'm probably not going to be able to do them all. But they could all tie into that, where the conclusion or part of the conclusion, the final part of the conclusion is, well, we will see come season 2025, and that can be a good little narrative connection, I think. If anybody is listening and they care about this, I think I'm going to do a video on the Tigers and Jerome Luai. I think I'm going to do a video on the Bulldogs. And I'm probably going to try and do a video on the Roosters too. We'll see. The Tigers one is the one that's coming into most focus now, because I think that is one of the big ones. There's also an Eel one that's good, but there's also, I should probably do an overview one of all of the teams. But that would be a much longer video and a harder one to make. But I guess we will see, as I say at the end of these videos. Better go fast. It did very well, though. I'm happy with the performance. It's sitting at like 900 views, which is much more than I expected. It outperformed the previous video, which it did, though that video had its legs cut out from underneath it literally hours after being uploaded. It is true, because that video was sort of a what could happen in the grand final, and the grand final was literally like hours later, so why would you go back and listen to a video speculating on what if the Panthers lose if they've already won? But yeah. There's also an interesting thing where 2 other mildly big the Rugby League YouTube people commented on the video and seemingly have noticed the videos, which could be good for growth or even collaboration down the line. We'll have to see. I believe the next one could be even bigger because it would be more topical in general, and also I'm talking about the Tigers video, and more importantly, we'll have a better title. This is a Cross Dwarf title, and they are not good for like getting eyes on them. I did also make the thumbnail, and I think the thumbnail is alright. But like a better title would have been, can Ben Hunt redeem himself for the Broncos in 2025 or something more dramatic? Or like highest highs and lowest lows, the Ben Hunt story, or some crazy shit like that. But yeah, I like the title. I think it's good, so fuck it. And it did alright despite it. So we'll see what I can conjure up for this Tigers video. Moving into unscripted videos. 8 unscripted videos came out in January on Secondary ENT, and I made 3 Ordinary RE appearances. Boo, we hate that guy. Now we just sort of go through the different types of content and how we felt. Our Vinland tier list didn't do as well as expected. True, tier lists usually do a lot better. The Vinland one didn't. The thumbnail is not that good. It's only got 2 characters' faces, and you know, tier list thumbnails have to have 3 character faces in it. But I couldn't find other good ones, and it was frustrating me, so I just said fuck it. I can't remember if I liked my performance in the Vinland Saga tier list video. I don't think it's too interesting either, so it's like, whatever. It is kind of the last tier list redo I sort of had that was like a big one. So I'm sure more opportunities will arise in the future to do shitty tier lists. We have an outrageous success with the Switch 2 reaction video, which was cute because my Switch 2 reaction video did have something kind of unique where it's like, oh, the trailer came out while we were streaming. And a big thing in the comments is people freaking out that I saw the title change in real time, where when I first clicked on the video, it just said a message from Nintendo. And then like 10 minutes later, obviously they changed it to Switch 2 reveal. And it's like, oh, I refreshed the page and it changed. And that's kind of a cool thing. It's obviously very topical. It did like 4,000 views or something. I got a few subscribers from it, but I'm pretty sure I've slowly bled them away when they realized I don't give a fuck about Chainsaw Man chapter reviews and Vinland Saga chapter reviews. Speaking of the Chainsaw Man chapter reviews, the Chainsaw Man chapter reviews are probably fine. At first I think we hated Reddit, but now I think the audience only cares about Reddit, which is fine. It's kind of funny and cute. I am really starting to hate doing them though. Hopefully it'll be over soon, and maybe we can stack chapters or something. I do. Wednesday is like my least favorite day of the week because I'm like, ugh, my night gets cucked because I have to record shitty Chainsaw Man, and I don't look forward to it, and it's starting to become a drag. And I don't know, but we may as well keep doing it. It's all right. It gives structure to Secondary ENT. It guarantees there's a video at least once a week. And the videos always fluctuate in how well they do, etc., etc. I liked the format of the Netflix Bebop review with Ari coming in at the end also. We might do this in the future for Netflix's One Piece or Blue Eyed Samurai with Bacon. I haven't asked Bacon about that, but maybe we could set that up because these are two shows that I am kind of curious to watch and maybe we'll watch in February. I like the idea of sort of coalescing points into a PowerPoint. It leaves it better structured than when I would just do it like off the top of my head previously. And also it gives like some sort of video form to a video that I can then clip out and it can look somewhat better than just me on a stream moving my mouse on a still image. So I think that was good. The only problem is that it literally the battery went dead at the end and there was no conclusion. So I should be more mindful of that, I guess, moving into the other ones. But yeah, so I like that. I think we should do more of that type of stuff. It didn't really get too many views, but like this is a 4-year-old show at this point. And yeah, I'm like late to the discourse, so it is very interesting. I wonder what I would have thought if I had watched it back then, because fuck, that feels like so long ago, but so recently, both at once. Anyway, that's speculation for another time. The Ari in-person stuff came out fine too. Ari did most of the stuff. I was literally like sitting on the couch watching fucking YouTube videos on his cool fucking $1,000 TV or whatever he has, while he was fucking with lights for 40 minutes. Well, for like 4 hours. There is, I guess, the biggest disappointment is that none of them really got many views. We also did the streams. I think we were banking on the Star Wars prequels being like interesting for people. I don't think it was too much, and neither was the original trilogy. It really would have been better if it was like a Mushoku Tensei discussion or something that gets a lot of views. Even like if there was a Chainsaw Man chapter that we could have done, like even that would have been a bit more like topical and like, ooh, look at this. Whereas like Nosferatu and Challenges aren't going to get many views, and Karen no Kyokai doesn't seem to be getting too many views either. I don't know. It would have been more interesting to do like more contemporary stuff or something like that. And maybe we should do that if we do it again in the future. I do think we probably will do it again in the future. Maybe like in 2 months or something further. It just depends. It's a little expensive. It's really just me flying out there. We'll have to see. But yeah, if we do it again, we should probably plan more topical. There really isn't much that we get a lot of views on, though. Like those... Did we used to? The X-Men one kind of came out of nowhere, but that came out around Deadpool and Wolverine. There's the Mushoku Tensei stuff that directly plays into that stuff. I guess if we had done Attack on Titan stuff in like 2021, that probably would have got a lot of views or something. But yeah, I guess we both have to fucking make videos and become more popular to get more eyes to have a better payoff for this. But I'm generally happy with all that stuff. It was a fun experience, etc. I kind of set out this year trying to do memorable things, at least like one a month. And that was the January one, and it was memorable, and it was a thing. It did go by very fast. And we were both very concerned that it would get like, we would do everything like the first day, and then it would be like awkward and we had nothing to do or whatever, but we had things to do constantly. We only got to go see one movie. I literally didn't get to do any touristy shit. Which is funny. I kind of told the story of walking for like 2 hours because I was being stubborn and didn't want to get an Uber for no reason. On the first stream we did. If anything, the streams are probably the best content to come out of that, which I'm fine with. I like the streams. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, I feel like I always have that like, oh, it's going to be a long time, and then you get there and it's like, oh, it's over, and like feels like a day, even though I think I was there for 4 days. That was like the end of one, 2, and then the start of another. But anyway, general quality could definitely go up with better planning going in. Even the Bebop thing went flat at the end, true. I could also do stronger ideas and strike a better balance of what I want to talk about versus what will be more widely appealing, and I could upload stream clips. Stream clips is something we kind of always talk about. Certain things, it is bleeding over again where I just like streamed like what could have been recordings with the Royal Rumble thing, which I know is technically a Febuary video. And even the Bebop thing. Though I think I like the Bebop interaction stuff. Um, I could probably, if I'm going to do that, I could probably announce them further in advance. And like, oh, make sure you go and rewatch Cowboy Bebop or watch a YouTube video refreshing yourself, and then we can come talk about it. That's probably always good, but that's more stream stuff that we'll get into later. But yeah, there's also better ideas, more topical things. I also could start cannibalizing like main channel stuff that I'm probably never going to get around to and make it secondary ENT stuff, and then I could. My ideas usually evolve and change with time, so even like if I was to do that topic or a topic like that in like a future video, um, it would probably be different enough um, that it wouldn't feel like a retreading an old idea. The PowerPoints are probably a good way to do stuff like that. Where like I could take a video concept, like I don't know, this Crash Bandicoot into Jack and Daxter sort of like Naughty Dog video idea. I could make that like a PowerPoint or something. Um, but I don't know. I'll have to think and experiment on that. Also, we really didn't have many collab discussions, especially with the whole crew that we were doing with Fire Punch and other things towards the end. We did Gunbuster and Diebuster with just me, Ari, and Mia. Mia seems to be going through it or something. I'm not entirely sure what's happening with Mia at the moment. If you follow him on Twitter, I don't know, something's happening. And like he didn't want to be in the Vinland discussion recently because he's got a lot going on or something. But I'm sure we'll get all over that in due time. But there are sort of ones that are planned in the background. Like we had talked about doing both Uzumaki and Bakano as like the four of us, because they were both shorter. I just want to rewatch Bakano. I don't know if it's a very good discussion series. Bakano would probably be like a good me and Bacon one or something. I don't know. I can't remember if Bacon's seen it already. It is funny. That is a Bacon sensibility show, I think. Uzumaki was like topical back then, and it is something I do want to read, and there was discourse with the episodes, so watching it could be interesting. And Ari was interested in that, and everybody else said okay, so we sort of committed to doing that. There are other ones like later down the line that we wanted to do with everybody, like Evangelion or Lane or something. That could be very interesting, but to get back into it, we'd probably want to do a short one. Me and Bacon are very strongly considering doing Cowboy Bebop and Steins Gate, which would be rewatches with both of us. Neither of us has seen the Cowboy Bebop movie, actually. And I still haven't seen the last 2 episodes of Steins Gate Zero because I dropped that piece of shit show, and I don't know if Bacon's seen any of it. There's also, I think I watched the Kurosu movie for Steins Gate. Like, I have memories of doing it. I think these would both be interesting discussions. I think it would end up being like, I like it and Bacon likes it slightly less, and then we'll sort of talk about it there. With Elite RE, obviously the star of our little sphere over here, we have Star Wars and Garden of Sinners we have to complete. I basically confirmed with him that we're going to do Blade Runner, because I'm in my little sci-fi era, which I'll point out in a few slides coming up, and I'm interested in Blade Runner. And then we still have the outstanding Godfather discussion. So maybe one of these will happen in February, Uzumaki or Bakano, and I'm pretty sure me and Bacon will start one of these. Bacon's just got to get his shitty podcast out, but he's taken forever. He's actually not. He got like the last year's one out like 9 months into the year, and he's very determined to get it out quickly this year. So we're very proud of him. Well, if he actually does it, And then Star Wars and Garden of Sinners both maybe only have one more each, though conceivably might have 2 more each. At least one of each of those will come out. Blade Runner is obviously just 2 movies, so that's pretty easy. And then The Godfather, I'm not even going to rewatch the movies because I know them so well. And I don't know. This can has been kicked down the road for like 3 months, so we'll see if The Godfather happens. It's probably got a chance to get a bit of views, so why not? But those are our unscripted stuff. Now we got streams. 7 streams happened in January, one of which was streamed on YouTube, our first stream on the platform. True, this is something we've been putting off for like 2 years, and fuck it. For that Netflix Cowboy Bebop one, we did do it on YouTube. I think that I am trepidatious for having just every stream on YouTube. I'm still trying to figure out what we want to do with streams. But if we do Blue Eye Samurai or One Piece, I think those would be nice streams to put on YouTube. Whereas I think like the meandering react ones, the whatever ones, or the therapy ones that we'll get into shortly can stay on Twitch. Though I don't know, maybe I should just switch everything to YouTube. I don't know why I'm hung up on not doing that. Twitch sucks, you know. There were also 3 Elite RE in-person streams, but I'm not counting those in streams overall, but they probably do count because obviously I couldn't stream on my... Well, I could have streamed at Elite RE's place, but I ended up not doing it, and I was like, fuck it, we can just stream on his setup, it's way better anyway. But also I'm probably had 1 or 2 more not in-person Elite RE appearances, but yeah. I don't know. I don't really care about streaming right now. It's not like I really want to stream like 15 days out of the month and get, because it doesn't really help. Like streaming more is not helpful in making streams more successful, really. And I kind of just do it when I have something to talk about a little bit. And definitely on like the list of things like scripted videos, unscripted videos, footy ENT videos, even like media consumption or video essay watching, stream is probably like the least out of all these things that I'm focusing on right now. Streaming has maintained as therapy in January more so than content. We talk about this all the time, where it's just sort of, sometimes it helps to get ideas out or to think through something if you stream about it and get it out. And it is like therapy in a weird way. No real innovation or anything too engaging, and I'm not really focused too much on revolutionizing my streams at the moment. Still kind of want to wait for the main channel to blow up, kind of thing. It could be interesting to incorporate more footy ENT stuff into my streams if that ever becomes a thing. I am like, that would be fun. There would always be something to talk about if the streams became football related, because footy ENT is now the main channel because it's got 50,000 subscribers. I'm just the biggest football guy around. But yeah, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen. We'll have to see. That's all for streams. Media consumption. 23 things consumed and listed on Twitter, of course. This is my biggest triumph of January easily. This is more than was consumed in the whole year of 2022, which only had 17 things. And over half of 2023 and 2024, which both had 39 things. And I had fun consuming things, and I don't expect this to slow down too much. I don't know if we'll get up to 23, because 3 of those things were those 45-minute Star Wars Family Guy parodies, so, you know, I was cheating a little bit. And some of those Garden of Sinners movies were a little short, so maybe I was cheating a little bit there too. But, you know, we'll keep it up. You know, we'll at least get to 30 in February, I'm almost certain. And I sort of have an outline of media consumption on the next slide. You can check out the Twitter. I should probably like pin it on Twitter or something, huh? You can do that. But you can scroll through all 23 things. I've talked about them all on stream. I go over it every stream at the beginning if you want more details on the things that were consumed and all that stuff. 6 Star Wars movies, many Crash Bandicoot video games played, a few movies here and there. How exciting. A theater-going experience. I have had one theater... Maybe I should make that a thing, too. I gotta go see one movie every month. We went to see Nosferatu in January. February, can we go and see Conclave? Is Anora coming to any of the cinemas near me? Etc., etc. We'll have to find out. That could be a fun, interesting thing. But yeah. It's all about experiences. You gotta go out and experience things in life. You can't just go to work and then come home and sit on your computer all day. You gotta go out and you gotta get it, or something, is what I should be telling myself. I am planning to go to that AEW show in Australia, so that'll probably be my February equivalent of the Elite RE trip. So we'll have to see. Now, I do feel a bit accomplished with this number, but spiritually it hasn't cured me of any such lack of feeling. True, I am sitting here, and I do smirk when I say 23 things, you know, no biggie. Elite RE's on like 7 or something, he's a little pussy. And, you know, I'm pretty sure I'm ahead of Miller too. We'll never be ahead of Heath, but that doesn't count. But, you know, this kind of reminds you of, like, if I get the things I want, if everything on here was, like, perfect, would I still be happy, or would I still be spiritually bankrupt like I am now? A hollowed-out human. Just a madman character over here. Unsatisfied with it all, unsatisfied with success, unsatisfied with my less-than-perfect reputation, and meandering about, unhappy. Maybe. All my problems still remain, and it makes me question these ideas of goals, whether or not I should find satisfaction elsewhere. Where do you find satisfaction in life? Who knows? It's the little things, after you vacuum your room, you're a little satisfied. When you cook your own food, you're a little satisfied. When you accomplish 20 things, you're a little when you consume 20 things rather, you're a little satisfied. But like the satisfaction dissipates to dissatisfaction when you find something else that isn't perfect. How do we find happiness in life? Probably not through media consumption, but that's okay. Also, a key thing from this consumption list is that there's a lot of sci-fi stuff in 2025. I guess it's my little sci-fi era. Cowboy Bebop live action, all the Star Wars parodies. We want to watch Blade Runner coming up. Even Crash Bandicoot has a lot of sci-fi elements. My goodness. I've always shit-talked sci-fi, said it was boring, said I didn't care, but now we're interested in a lot of it. And Blade Runner's coming up, and etc., etc. Oh, what an exciting time to be me, to be a great Kyle Entertainment fan. Watching actual Family Guy episodes was also curious. That was true. I've spent like years only watching Family Guy clips and Tyrone Magnus reaction compilations or something. And to watch them in actual structure was interesting. It is something I've been curious about recently, and it was a good excuse to finally do it. I do keep seeing these Simpsons clips, and I think they're very good. It's true, maybe I should watch a Simpsons episode again. There's always like little Twitter threads where it's like, all the moments Marge was just being a dork, and I like watched a bunch of those clips, and there was one of them where it was like, all you can do is laugh, and then she just sits there staring, and it's like, oh, I've seen this joke before, but it was executed so well. The Simpsons is great. Maybe I should watch the Who Shot Mr. Burns episodes or whatever. Remember, those were famous. They're the best ones. But I don't know. We'll see. Can I just watch it because I'm curious? Or how would I even put that on my media checklist? I don't really want to rewatch the Simpsons movie because it's like later Simpsons stuff. What could I do? Could I really just watch something and not have it go on the media checklist? How would I remember it, etc., etc.? Do I have to gamify all the aspects of my life and make them unsatisfying rather than acts of pleasure? Who knows? And now we got my favorite stuff I consumed for the month were Monsters Inc., which got 5 stars on a rewatch, Challenges, which got 5 stars on a rewatch, Jack and Daxter, which on a replay, I think it's still on 5 stars, though I am questioning it a little bit. The old Jack and Daxter, I found some chinks in the armor. It wasn't exactly as perfect as I remembered. It might be a 4.5 star video game. I don't know, do I still have like Horizon Zero Dawn as 5 stars? If Jack and Daxter bumps down to 4.5, then that certainly has to. But then we've also got Nosferatu and Pokemon the third movie. I think Nosferatu is probably 4 stars, and the Pokemon the third movie, it might be 4 or 4.5 stars. But they sort of stand out in the wave of things. None of the Star Wars movies made it. They're alright. Though I gave 4 stars and 3.5 stars to all of them. But whatever. They don't speak to me as personally as these 4 things, I guess. Netflix's Cowboy Bebop is the most interesting, though. True. That is like I consumed it, and I am interested in it continuously. I think it is a very interesting little moment that we'll think about for years to come. And the more I think about it, the more I am sad that season 2 is never coming. Some of those scripts were great, said that writer girl that everybody made fun of. Media consumption plan for February. Now, who knows how much of this will happen, and obviously I like to do things on whims, but my whims are leading to mostly these things right now, so we'll have to see. Previously mentioned discussion series like Star Wars, Garden of Sinners, Blade Runner, Bebop, etc. We're still Crash gaming. Originally I was just going to play through the original 3 Crash games, so then I could replay the Insane Trilogy, therefore I could replay, then I wanted to do Crash Team Racing, so therefore I could do all the remakes and then the Crash 4, and have finally played Crash 4 in the proper context. How great. But I was having fun, and so now I'm just planning on playing all of the Crash games in order, at least all the console ones. I'm not going to do all the handhelds and stuff like that. I don't even own all of those. And it would be annoying, I'm assuming. So I think I am just going to continue, because I am playing Crash Nitro Kart right now. We did beat Crash Wrath of Cortex. Now, there are Nitro Kart stages in the new kart racer game that they made too, so that's good for context. Crash Twinsanity is not good for context, and I've actually never beaten that game. But I do want to play it. Like, I watched a bunch of Crash videos too, and a bunch of them mentioned Crash Twinsanity, so I was like, fuck it. I think there are some Crash tag team racing stuff in the more recent kart game, so I'm like, oh, I'll do that. And while I'm there, why don't I just replay Crash of the Titans? And I've never actually beaten Mind Over Mutant, so maybe I should do that one. And just play them all, fuck it, all the main console releases. And yeah, I think that is what I'm going to do. Unless I like run out of luster or something. The one I'm looking least forward to is probably Crash of the Titans, just because I did play it recently enough. And Crash Mind Over Mutant, I just don't think I like that game very much. Though I have only played like the beginning of it. Also, I don't know if I really want to play the Insane Trilogy, but we'll see. I certainly will. The plan whenever I played them again was to platinum the second and third one, because I have platinumed the first one. But that seems daunting and kind of boring, but we'll probably do it. Whatever. Then there's also a Pokemon Heart Gold save file that I've been playing for like a year and a half, maybe longer, that I've been making very like small progress on, that I just want to like get out of the way. Because I've never actually beaten Heart Gold fully. Like, I've never beaten Red. I've beaten Red and Crystal, but never Heart Gold or Soul Silver. So it's like, I should just tick that off, especially if, I think the goal originally was like, oh, and then I can Nuzlocke Heart Gold on stream, maybe. But who knows what a silly motivation. And because I want to play other Pokemon games. Like, I really want to play X or Y before Legends ZA comes out. And obviously I spent a lot of the time last year playing, I didn't even replay it, just playing through the Pokedex of Legends Arceus. And then I booted up Scarlet that one time. I was like, ugh, I don't want to play this game. This great 5 out of 5, greatest game of all time game. But yeah, I also want to kind of want to replay XD and beat the hardest stuff on that, and then I kind of want to replay Platinum to get a team to play the hardest parts of Pokemon Battle Revolution. And also, I've like, oh, I should probably replay Sun and Moon at some point, and maybe Black and White 2. Haven't played those in like a few years. And there's always Pokemon you want to play, the new team to tackle a region. There's nothing more fun. But anyway, also on here is maybe Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters. I have this GBA game. I remember it being really fun, and I've been curious about it for whatever reason, so I might go back and play that. I could even play like Duelist of the Roses again or something like that. There are a bunch of other video games, like I've like on Letterboxd, like I added a bunch of things to what's the equivalent of the backlogged watch list. A bunch of like indie games I want to get through. There's like a lot of the PS4 and PS5 main Sony first party releases that I want to get through. Obviously, I was fake playing Days Gone and Shadow of the Colossus for a little bit, but I ended up dropping basically both of them. Maybe I'll get back to either one of those. There's like a bunch of games like that I want to play. I've been thinking about the Order 1886 again recently. I was like, oh. And like, if I'm doing the Naughty Dog thing, like, I'll probably want to play Jak 2. Should I buy Jak 3 and the Jak Racing game and then that other Jak game? And then should I play through Uncharted? And it's like, oh. There's many ways to go. There is, like... I haven't played many games in like the most recent couple years, and I feel like I am very much into playing games again at the moment. I think I'm into a bunch of things. If anything, I'm not really reading any manga at the moment, which has kind of fallen out of favor, which is in previous years has been like my biggest thing. Last year it had sort of died the year before, but then last year I reread Fire Punch and I read Heavenly Delusion. And obviously I want to get to Dan to Dan at some point. Trying to balance them all out is probably good, like having one anime, one manga and stuff, but I'm also reading again, which we'll get to at the bottom here. So there's like some things have to give. And if I do have a list of things that I'm kind of currently in the middle of, it is like 10 things. And I should probably try to check some off and stop doing as many. But we'll see. Probably look back manga reread and movie first watch is something that I'll probably do in February. Record of the Lotus War is almost a certainty. It's literally open on my PC as we speak, the Crunchyroll page. Heath just watched it and liked it. I saw it in a Steven video, I think, and I've heard about it before, and it just looks cool, and it's old, and I just want to watch it. So is Angel's Egg and Ghost in the Shell 2, almost certainties that is. I did just torrent Angel's Egg. Ghost in the Shell 2 is on Mr. R's Plex server, thank you very much. Obviously I rewatched Ghost in the Shell, I think that was at the end of last year, and I thought it was really cool and interesting, and there's a sequel, so I should watch it, and Angel's Egg is also Mamoru Oshii is his name, right? Other big anime movie, so I want to watch that too. Also, it's like 70 minutes, so it's an easy read, easy watch, and also I watched like the first 20 minutes one time, and then fell asleep when I was like 16 or something, because Best Guy ever said it was really good. So I am interested in both of those. I should probably finish watching the Heavenly Delusion anime too. That is true. I probably will have to force myself to do it because I'm not too interested. But I can make it work. I should just do it to tick it off. I can do like one episode a day. It's an anime. It's only 20 minutes long. How epic. There's other things like Ninja Scroll and Akira are sort of on the radar. So there's like Patlabor, which I think is also an Oshii thingy. Some OVAs and stuff too. You know, I'm always wanting to get around to that. Gunsmith Cats I watched and stuff like that. So, Record of the Lotus War is also an OVA. So anyway, in terms of live action, we got Netflix's One Piece, Blue Eye Samurai, and the Romanoffs. I do have to finish the Romanoffs. I've watched 4 of the 8 episodes. The problem is each episode is literally a movie. And they're all like an hour and 17 minutes, an hour and 6 minutes, an hour and 23 minutes, I think one of them is. And it's like, God fucking damn it. And they aren't the greatest things of all time either, which is sort of like a letdown, because it is the follow-up show from the creator of Mad Men, so we'll have to see about that. I've been really into the idea of Blue-Eyed Samurai recently, so I should probably act on that. And One Piece, we should do one of these fucking big Netflix tentpole shows or whatever each month. Now, Chainsaw Man, the movie, is coming out at some point, and so is The Last of Us Season 2. And in the months in which those come out, which I think The Last of Us Season 2 is April, I will rewatch The Last of Us show in anticipation for that. In this same vein, we also have like Fallout, which I want to watch at some point. That might be like the March equivalent of the Netflix live action shows. We'll have to see. In terms of reading, I am currently reading Heart of Darkness and Blood Meridian. Heart of Darkness is much shorter, and I should probably just get out of the way. Blood Meridian is like 300 pages. Heart of Darkness is like literally like 120 pages or something. I'm further into Heart of Darkness too. I think I'm on like page 35 or something. So anyway, I am like, these are kind of the things I do like. Like I am enjoying reading both of these. It doesn't feel like a slog or anything like that. So it's funny because Heart of Darkness and Spy Blood Meridian, they have completely different feels though. It's very interesting. Though neither of them have really gotten into the like the sadistic stuff they're both supposedly known for. So when I get up to that, maybe I'll think they're more similar or something. I've also got to finish Fire and Blood at some point. I have been thinking about that. I think I will do that before I go back to A Clash of Kings. Also, technically, the first Dunk and Egg comes out between A Game of Thrones and Clash. That's like short, and then I could add it to the media checklist, so maybe I'll do that too. I do still intend to get back into Clash at some point. But we're also getting into reading. Like, now I want to read the original Dracula novel, and like there's other things that I've looked up on stream and stuff recently, like that Leaves book or whatever. There's things to read, I guess. I'm excited on all these fronts, really, and like what's next. Niggling at the back of my mind are DuckTales, The Simpsons, and Yu-Gi-Oh! These are all terrible ideas, but I kind of want to do all of them. Also, I am obviously watching the Pokemon anime still. I'm nearly at season 4, basically. The OP is going to change to Pokemon Johto. I'm so excited. I got like literally 2 episodes. I've definitely slowed down on Pokemon anime. I think in my head I'm like, well, I can't really do Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon at the same time, so I've got to wait until I finish Pokemon. But that'll be like literally years from now, so at some point am I going to take a break and do Yu-Gi-Oh! What's the go there? We'll have to figure that out. I should just watch some Simpsons episodes. It'll be fun. DuckTales is another thing like that, where I think just watching random episodes would probably be more enjoyable, but then obviously I can't add it to the media checklist and say that I've watched all the episodes, or make a video on it if I wanted to. I wish I was around my girlfriend more. How sad. This is what every idea in my life comes back to. But like, then I could like, we'll just watch a DuckTales episode, you know. We're just lying around, fuck it. We could just watch a Simpsons episode. It'll be fun. Obviously Yu-Gi-Oh! I want to watch chronologically, but... And then they would have like their own... It would be nice. And you wouldn't have to... I wouldn't have to worry about the media checklist or something like that. But anyway. Video essays. You will have to stay tuned and find out what we do on this front. I did not keep an absolute Excel spreadsheet this year. I speculated on this in my year-end PowerPoint, of like, oh, maybe I should do the spreadsheet, or maybe not. I do have a spreadsheet. It's not an absolute spreadsheet. It is just of the videos I find interesting and topical. Which is all the notable videos will be talked about in an upcoming video. I'm basically going to record a different video talking about all the video essays that I watched and thought were notable from January. I was going to record it after this, but this is going a little long, so I don't know if I'll have time. It's hopefully out the day following this. True. Then we've got the last one, which is checking in on our goals. 50,000 subscribers was our goal. Not a lot of progress on this front at all, but I'm not completely defeatist yet. Still slightly optimistic. True, we just got to get videos out and they got to be good. And then we can jump up. Improved output / more videos, Lamau. Surely at least 12 videos, right, for this whole year. We did technically get one video out this month, so, that's kind of an okay status for this goal. Better ideas. We're working on that. I don't know how I'm going to, what that really means, but sure. Making all the outstanding legacy videos, The Last of Us Part 2 videos, a Madman video, the Appeal of Chainsaw Man video, Pokemon anime videos. Well, there's no progress there, is there? More focused directed to footy ENT, especially ramping up into the 2025 NRL season. That again starts next month. Well, we indeed got a video out. It did pretty well too and could realistically build into something. So we did make some progress on that 5th goal. Incredible stuff. It's not the best month, but again, I am optimistic moving forward. I'm less busy in a sense. I have more time. Hopefully by the end of the week, there's some progress on a bunch of these fronts is kind of what I'm hoping. Though, with me, it's possible that there's literally no progress, etc., etc. But that's our PowerPoint. Can you believe it? We'll be back at the end of next month, February, of course. Oh my god, it's going to do the thing again. Is a short month, but we can get a lot done in a little amount of time. We just got to believe. Hopefully these goals will be more fired up. Maybe there'll be 3 total videos. A new footy ENT video that I kind of am lulling myself into thinking I'm going to do multiple. And that Pokemon Battles video, and they'll both come out this year, this month, and we'll be very excited for that. And I'll gain 1,000 new subscribers, hit 10k, and it'll be a milestone on the way to 50, etc., etc. But we'll have to check back in. If you're watching this in 2027 and going back through this, this could be very funny because you would know how things would turn out. I might not even have 50,000 subscribers by then, and you'll be like, oh, what a fucking moron in this moment. But I'm hopeful in this moment. Anyway, that's it. Support links in the description below. Thanks.